Hey guys, this is Bernie from Slip to Stitch Jane. I know it's been forever. I just figured I'd get on here and start doing Get Ready with me. Just a little of a chat, little catch up. Sorry if this sounds a bit awkward. Kinda am awkward. I'm working on building my confidence talking on camera. I just feel really awkward doing it. I don't know why. I don't know when I always had kind of performance anxiety, which is really weird because I don't know where it stems from, but here we are. But I figured I'd get on here and chat a little bit and get ready and do some makeup. Basically, one, so I can have something to do with my hands, but two, I kind of need to film some content. And I just like having makeup on when I do so. Even though I started this one without makeup. But I'm putting primer on. I'm not going to really go in depth of like a how-to tutorial on my makeup. There's so many out there, and I am not a skilled makeup artist. I kind of just do my own, and that's about it. So, also I just wanted to talk about my hobbies. I do enjoy chatting about my special interests. Obviously, crochet. Crocheting lately, that looks funny. Crocheting lately, I've just been doing a lot of hats, obviously chokers, cardigans, and in the next couple days, I will be giving my niece one of her plush animals for her birthday. I try to crochet a plushie for nieces a lot for holidays and gifts. This looks really funny. Also, I forgot to put this on. Whew. Starting off on a great start. Sorry if I seem a bit nervous. Like I said, I have really bad social anxiety. Enough to the point where I'm not really social. Like, I can kind of socialize at events, like family events, and I can socialize here and there, but I'm not like a big group person, and I'm not, I guess, being in my own talking to myself on a camera person either, so. But I am working on my confidence with that, and it's just really hard. I've not been one to always come out of my shell, kinda. Like, I've always been a really quiet type until you get to know me, and then I won't shut up. But that's just because it's not like I want to talk. It's just I want to fill the void of quietness. I don't like it being extremely quiet. Like, most of the time during this, like, say if I'm not recording and get ready with me, I would be sitting here with either music or TV going. And that being said, I feel like I really have to pick and choose what I watch or listen to while I'm doing my makeup. It really, really influences how this comes out, because if I listen to, I'm trying to think of an example. If I listen to some very, like, I guess, millennial, I'm trying to think of the word, millennial emo pop hits, punk pop hits, I'm not sure exactly what I call it. Basically, I will have raccoon eyes. I will have straight up heavy eyeliner, which is, it's a vibe. It's good. It's nice. I like it. But it has to be well thought of, because I try not to show up to family events. Like, I don't try to show up to like weddings and stuff with full on like Avril Lavigne eye makeup on. Avril Lavigne, Evanescence, Amy Lee has beautiful makeup, but like really thick, like really thick eyeliner, heavy grunge, because, like, I like it, but also, like, I know I say like a lot. I don't think the bride and groom would be very happy to have photos with me in it with, like, really heavy. I know this looks really pale. It'll balance out, trust me. Or I'm gonna trust it anyways. But I don't think they would be ecstatic about having it. And I see the photos back, unless, like, I don't know. I don't like my photo taken by anyone that's not me, in a sense. I don't know why. I guess I'm self-conscious about it. I'll be in photos, so I'm not really concerned about it. But if I'm in a photo that I'm not really looked at or whatever, I kind of feel self-conscious about it. And I feel really self-conscious about photos with me in really heavy eyeliner, because I've been told I have really sad eyes, and then when I have that on in, like, a specific angle, it just, I look worse for wear, in my opinion. I don't look bright and cheerful. I just kind of look like a sad puppy, and I feel very self-conscious about it. But I do tend to try to make sure I'm listening to something that's going to give me more of a balanced emotional state of listening to it. So, like, anything heavy rock or emo music or anything like that, I'm just sitting there like eyeliner, heaviest eyeliner. I don't balance my makeup well, and that's a me thing. It's not anything to do with anything. It's just me. I don't know what it is. It tends to, it comes through on the makeup. You're in that setting, that mindset of it. So, but, here lately I think my makeup today, I'm going to try to lean toward, like, a southern gothic vampire look. I think that's usually what I tend to try to lean to. It don't come out that way, but that's the inspiration. Here a lot lately, I've been wanting and craving, I guess, vampire vibes on stuff. Like, I've been wanting to watch True Blood. I've fallen down that hole. Fun fact, I've watched all of Vampire Diaries and the originals. I loved the original series. I liked Vampire Diaries. Don't get me wrong. I liked Vampire Diaries. But I really, really liked the originals. I liked the characters and the setting. I mean, I know they're, like, if you didn't know, they're in the same, like, universe of each other. But, this looks really funny. I really liked the setting of the originals more. I liked the whole, like, Louisiana, Bourbon Street, French Quarter type stuff. I want to say I've always really liked that kind of vibe when it comes to vampire stuff. I know a lot of lore is from a lot of different other places, but I've always liked that central theme. I want to say it's because of the Interview with the Vampire. I want to say that's why. But I've always enjoyed it. It's been pretty great. But yeah, I've been craving just that spooky vampire, Crimson Peak, True Blood I really liked. I think True Blood is not based in Louisiana. I want to say it's Mississippi, maybe? I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I really liked it. I liked the sense of it. And I'm trying to think of other stuff. I really liked Beautiful Creatures. I know that one's not exactly... I've read all the books. I know that one's not exactly vampire based, but I really liked the setting of it being in Louisiana. I don't know, I just really like that. Like I said, that like vampire-y feel to it. The trying to think the word for it. I don't know. That being said, I've been in a horror kick lately, not like horror as in jump scare thriller. More as in I guess gothic horror would be the word for it. Like I said, Crimson Peak and like Van Helsing and The Witcher. That's what I'm thinking. I really liked The Witcher whenever it first came out. I was really watching it. Like, what I want to say, didn't they do like a weekly release of it at one point? I don't think it was the first season. I think it was the second season. They would do like every week they would drop a new episode. I could be wrong. But yeah, I've been really into that. I don't know. I want Halloween. I want cold weather. I am tired of hot weather. Other than my birthday being in the summer, I'm not a summer person. I'm happy if you're a summer person. I'm not a summer person. Obviously, where I live, the humidity, well, not obviously, where I live, the humidity is unbearable. It is ridiculous, and I am not a fan. 10 out of 10, not a fan of the humidity. I really wish I could explain. It just feels like if you're a summer person, I get it. You like being out in the heat and you like the warmth on your skin, and I do too. But where I live, the humidity's so bad where you walk outside and it feels like you can't breathe, if that makes sense. Like, it feels unbearably hot. And if I could breathe, it'd make it a lot easier. I'd probably be more of a summer person. But where it stands, it's too humid. Like, you can't sweat. You can't get cool. And it's just, I'm not a fan. I know this looks like I probably put a little bit too much blush on. It'll even out. It's okay. I'd rather have a little bit of rosiness to it because I am, as you can tell, before the makeup, I mean, I wasn't that pale, but I'm on camera. I look a little bit less pale than I am in life, weirdly. I don't know how that works, but I feel like I look really pale in real life. And now I kind of look like a Who. So, a Who from Whoville. Okay, blush, this and that. Okay. Sorry, I usually have this laid out somewhere else. I'm not, as you can tell, I'm not usually recording in this area. I just figured why not, since I have a place where I can set up and kind of have natural light. So, might as well do it here. But, yeah, I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for pumpkin spice. I know. I don't know. I used to not be a pumpkin spice kind of person, or a pumpkin spice girly, or a pumpkin spice person. And then I had a couple of them, and I'm like, these are pretty good. And now I'm like, I like the cinnamon. I don't know what else is in pumpkin spice, but I really, really enjoy the cinnamon. So much so that I think most of the time whenever I have breakfast cereal, and I know it's like the most exciting cereal, I have Raisin Bran. It has a good amount of iron. It doesn't feel like my mouth's getting destroyed because of Captain Crunch has affected me. I love the taste of Captain Crunch, but it feels like it's destroying any skin I have in my mouth. But anyways, whenever I get Raisin Bran, we usually put, if I don't, my partner does, sprinkle some pumpkin spice on it and then mix it up. Really good. Really good. I didn't think I would like that much. We've been watching a lot of Townsend on YouTube. It's really good. I really like it. They do like a lot of period, like, I'm trying to think of the word. My brain can't remember the time period. It's like late 1700s, early 1800s, late. It's in the time period like colonial stuff. I feel really, really disheartened that I can't remember the dates. I'm not good with dates. They do like a lot of cooking and historic information stuff, and I really like watching it. Well, my partner has adapted the taste of liking nutmeg. And not adapting. He's acquired the taste for liking nutmeg. So now we're playing a game of every time we have a meal together and he's cooked, it's like, or if I've cooked actually too, I don't think it really matters which one of us is cooked during it, would this taste good with nutmeg? And so they've been eating nutmeg on random stuff now. Not saying it's random, like it's bad or da-da-da. It's more of like, you wouldn't expect someone to eat nutmeg on it. And I don't know why. It's just, I guess, one of those common things where like, huh, you put nutmeg on this. So thus far, I think nutmeg's been on chicken. There's been nutmeg on his cereal. And I want to say he had an egg sandwich and nutmeg. Those are the three that stuck out the most. Because I think I had nutmeg on chicken. It didn't taste bad. It tastes like a very nice savory, traditional, I guess, dish. It was just supposed to be like roasted chicken. So it was pretty good. I don't know. So my adventure now is seeing what all nutmeg will show up. Because like I said, they put it on cereal. I don't know. They might have put it on cereal today. Don't know. It didn't smell bad. So, I mean, I'm cool with it. Honestly, smelling all the pumpkin spice and the nutmeg all the time, it's probably gotten me into the fall vibes more than I would have put myself into wanting to the fall vibes lately. But I've been really, really craving it. So much so that, I just miss having potpourri around. I know that's weird. And a lot of people are like, oh, potpourri. I don't know. It's just something, I guess, a childhood memory of, like, my friends' grandmas or something. They always had potpourri in the house. And I know this sounds like a weird thing, but I just miss the smell of potpourri. Like that, like, cider cinnamon smell. I miss it. I kind of just wish... I know I can just go get potpourri. It's just... I don't know. I just haven't brought myself to do it. I know I have, like, cinnamon pine cones or something somewhere. When those are probably don't use, like, cinnamon no more. But, sorry, make sure my face isn't horribly, I guess, tacky. But, I don't know if this is the right way to do makeup. It's always how I do my makeup, and it works for me. I mean, by all means, everyone do their makeup how they want to. This is just how I kind of do it. But, yeah, I've been just craving, and it's a weird thing to say, I crave a smell. I crave the smell. But no, I just wasn't wanting potpourri, or, I know I've seen this person on a post. I'm not sure, I've never seen the post. But she's making perfumes for her friends. And that's really nice, you know. That's a really cool thing to do. I know someone that makes, like, perfumes for themselves. So it's cool. I like the smell of it. Or, like, I usually like the smells they make. But they were making one and they were doing it off vibes. And I was like, that's really cool. Like, so I'm using the camera, but I'm also using, like, a mirror, and it's really hard to see in the mirror behind me without like just being right in the camera. So if I look this way to that way to this way to that way, please don't get motion sickness. I'm sorry. But they were making perfume for friends. I think they only did a couple on the content because they ran out of time or something. But they wanted one that was like Twilight inspired, or like the vibes of Twilight, not like Twilight, but the vibes of like that. Is it bad? I don't know where that place is. The setting. I've seen all the movies. I've not read the books. I've seen the movies, and I really like the setting / ambience of it, and I like the fact that they do everything with blue tone over it. I just like that vibe feeling ish. But anyways, they were doing get back on track here. They were doing a Twilight inspired perfume, and they did a couple flowers or something, and they did like they put the fragrance oil, different fragrance oils in it to make the smell of it. And they did flowers and some other stuff and like rain. And then they used dirt. And I was like, why would you want like your perfume and stuff to smell like dirt? And then I made the connection in my brain. And it makes sense there would be dirt, because like if you just do straight flowers, it just smells like straight flowers. It smells like fabric softener. You know, you don't smell like a garden. You don't smell like, you know, earthy. In which I would think the Twilight smell would taste like smell like it would have that like fresh, like when it rains, it smells kind of like, to me anyways, it smells like dirt and soil and like, I don't know, earthy when it rains. And it might just be me, but it did, but I was like, oh, okay. And so I'm like, that sounds like it would smell really good, right? And I'm like, that sounds like it would smell good. And now I'm like, what does dirt smell like? I just kind of, not dirt, but like, what would that smell like in total of like, there's probably stuff out there that has a smell in it. But I was like, that would probably be a really good perfume. Like that nice rosy, earthy smell. And now I just really want to smell it. No rhyme or reason. I just want to smell it. And like, I feel like that'd be a good perfume. That would be like a very nice, like signature smell. I could be wrong. It could just be in my head. But I think it would smell really good. Not to say that it's just because of this or that. It's just, by the sounds of it, it just sounds like it would be very nice smell. And I think they did another one that was like Pretty Little Liars based. I don't know. It just, all of it sounded wonderful. And I'm sure their friends loved it. And now I want to ask the person, like, hey, like, how do I ask somebody, like, can you put the dirt smell in a bottle with other stuff to make a perfume for me? Like, I feel like it'd be like Jack Sparrow's, like, I got a jar of dirt situation. So I got to figure out how to be like, casually bring that up in conversation of like, hey, I think dirt would smell nice. Can you put the smell of dirt in your nice, fancy perfume smells? So I gotta figure that out in my head to where I don't sound completely insane a little bit. Like I said, if I sound I guess, awkward about it. This person knows me, and they know. They'll be talking about scents, and I'm like, this would smell good together, and this would get... Basically, everything smells good with French toast, in my opinion. Everything smells good with French toast. Everything smells good with, trying to think of the one that was recent. The French toast was recent. And then there was, I think, a grass smell. And I'm like, just put it with flour. Let's put it with this flour. Let's put it with that flour. And they're like, would you really want to smell grass with this flour? And I'm like, I think it would work. Also, I really like what they would say it would be like. I like the really floral, musky smells. So they would probably be like thinking, I don't know. I like all the smells, and I think that's the problem. I don't know. Because a lot of people have like their signature smells where like, I like florals, or I like fruit, or I like trying to think of the word for it. I like sugary smells, or musky, champagne-y smells, or... The only smell I don't really like the smell of, and I think it's just because it gives me like a weird headache situation, is like cotton, like fake cotton smell. I don't really like I like fabric softener, but I don't like the candles that kind of smell like cotton linen. Because they tend to kind of be a little bit too overpowering for my nose. I don't know why. It's a bit rough. But I'm always asked, like, what kind of smells do you like? And I'm like, all the smells. I want to smell all the smells. I'm going to be overstimulated smelling all the smells if I smell them at once. But I want to know all the smells. I want to smell them all. But yeah, I've been in that. Another one of my hobbies, and I don't think it's like not like, oh, it's one of your hobbies. Video gaming. I know that's very common. It's not really anything remotely surprising, would be the word. But I recently learned that I like cozy gaming. Like, give me a moment to paint my eyebrows in so I don't look back. I am very much a Dreamlight girly. I'm excited about all the updates. I follow Dreamlight. I'm excited. I like Dreamlight. I used to like Animal Crossing a lot. There's a spot in my heart for Animal Crossing. I really like Animal Crossing. But definitely Dreamlight has been bigger for me than the Animal Crossing. I like Cozy Grove. I like little farming games. I like Polya. Polya I like. I don't know if I'm that great at Polya, but I like it. And I play like Fae Farm. But I realized in the last couple of years, I really, really like stuff like Fallout. I play Fallout 76, and it's a game that I can like enjoy with my partner, and we can both play and we can build on each other's bases, and they have seasons, so you get new stuff every so often. It's like, I guess, live service game, so they continuously bring stuff out for it, which I guess Dreamlight, that might be it. I might just like the novelty of the different seasons and getting new stuff. They recently got me into playing. Those do not look like they're related. 1 second. Looks a little bit more on track. But they recently got me into playing No Man's Sky, and I like it. I realized I could I'm not very good at navigating, which doesn't really surprise me. I've always been horrible at navigating. And or I cannot fly a spaceship. Not good at it. So I get put in charge of, while playing the game, I get in charge of trying to survive if pirates come up in the game. That's my objective. That's my to-do list. I think that's really funny. But I've been playing that, and they have like little tiny creatures, and they have different stuff on different planets and stuff. And that's nice, and I haven't gotten it yet, but some of the little pets you can get, they have ones that look like Digimon. And I'm excited. I know Digimon wasn't that big, and it wasn't as big as Pokemon, but I really do like some of the Digimon. They look like little Digimon. They're like little cactus, little pets that jump around places, and it's cute. And I really like them. And I really enjoy. I have that like Pokemon Outlook where I see them, and I'm like, I gotta have that one now, and I gotta have that one, and I gotta have that one. It was a problem, like my mindset and wanting to collect things in game, that playing Ark Survival. I played that when it came out. I haven't played it in forever. I do like playing it. I was definitely one of the dinosaur kind of kids growing up. Which reminds me, I need to watch Jurassic Park soon. I just feel like it'd be nice, comforting. As one says about a movie that was a sci-fi movie that came out. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be, it could be wrong, but I think it was supposed to be a horror movie, but it's just comforting, and I can't imagine why. I don't know. The part where they first see the dinosaurs, it gets me every time. Like, that's my favorite part. Like, I really couldn't imagine how I felt the first time. I think I watched that as a kid. I think I watched that at least by 10 years old. I want to say I watched it sooner than that. I love Jurassic Park. I think I made a big deal about it because it had dinosaurs, and I needed to see it because it had dinosaurs. And I needed to know what these dinosaurs... I don't know. I probably made some big spiel to one of my parents about it, about how I needed to see the dinosaurs. I don't know exactly if and what it was rated, but I remember it not being... It was probably not rated for a kid, however old I was when I watched it. I say that now solely because I'm like, oh, by the way, I've watched the Jurassic cartoons, Jurassic Park cartoons. I like them, you know. But I would not let a kid... my nieces would not have it. Like, they would not have it. It would be really bad for them. I just remember I love that movie still. I watch it at least once a year. I know a lot of people like, I watch Lord of the Rings, or I watch Star Wars. I watch those too. I think, I don't remember, we kind of maybe flipped it around. But, we watch... Sorry if I'm rambling a lot too. We watch... I'm trying to think what the movie's called. We watch Star Wars for one of the holidays. And then we watch... Lord of the Rings for a holiday. And some years we might just not watch one versus the other. I know there's been a year where we watched no Star Wars and watched... 'cause no Star Wars, and watch The Hobbit. I know The Hobbit. Me and my partner have similar tastes in movies. When we do watch movies, I watch a lot of movies. I like movies, I like TV shows. They do, however, do not like TV versus movies. They'd rather read and like, I don't know, read and hobby versus movies. And I know you can do it at the same time. They just kind of get distracted while watching TV, so they'd rather just do something else because they get like, very, very distracted by it. So much so, like, if we're around the nieces, they'll watch random cartoons, know nothing about it, but they get invested. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse was really bad at one point. Like, they would get so distracted, and they still sing like the random songs in Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Not that they wanted to watch it. It's more they get sucked in and they'll watch it. Some of the times where I've watched like old nostalgia movies, they get sucked into those too. Not that they necessarily care, but they'll watch it. It's kind of like whenever the music, they don't really they like music. They don't necessarily care about my music, but they can still sing the music. And it probably drives them absolutely crazy. But anyways, I think I've talked them into watching Jurassic Park a couple times. I'm to the point where I've watched it so often as not in like as often as in like once a week, but I've watched it like maybe once or twice in the year, a couple times in the year, and at this point it's just I'm watching it by myself. Not necessarily because they hate it. They're just like, we watched it. We watched it once this year. If you want to watch it multiple times, you're welcome to do so, but I'd rather not. And that's fine. I mean, I'm not expecting everybody to watch and or be involved in every aspect of like what I currently want to do. Because there'll be days where I'm just like, you know what sounds good? Listening to Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas nonstop. And I don't expect everybody to be on the Tim Burton train with me. So I just put my headphones in. Or, trying to think of another one. And, I don't know, I think that Sweeney Todd, I listen to that one a lot. I listen to Repo the Genetic Opera a lot, and that probably drives some people crazy. I just put it into my headphones. I've tried to listen to audiobooks. I love books. I really enjoy reading. I like the escapism. I like dark fantasy. There's books that I will probably never ever read in my lifetime, but I like the general concept of it. Like, I don't think I will personally ever read. Sorry. I'm trying to scoot in my chair, but it's like it's hard to scoop my chair, but also it's kind of hard to shift in my chair at the same time. Because, like, if you go to shift it, it moves. But if you want it right underneath you without it going, you kind of got to, like, brace yourself just in case. I don't think I'll ever read Lord of the Rings book. Not to say it's not a great book and it's not a masterpiece. And I do like Lord of the Rings the movie, and I love the atmosphere and everything about it. However, have read The Hobbit. I've read The Hobbit. I don't think I could read The Lord of the Rings because I've heard from a lot of people that it's a lot of work. It's not like I won't read it because it just seems like it's very wordy, and I could be wrong. It could be something I completely enjoy. However, the people I know that are closest to me and know my reading style, they're like, you won't. Like, I've read the Akatar books. Okay, I'll rephrase that. I read all but the last 1/3 of the last book that's out. I know there's another book coming out, and I hope to have it read. That book is so big that when I try to read, I usually tend to read at night. And I know that's a problem anyways. I usually tend to read at night to help me, like, I guess, wind down. That book is really, it's a giant book, and I have it in physical copy. And I know I could always read it in digital copy, but I have not yet. That book is really big, and I feel like I was giving myself carpal tunnel to where my arm kind of hurt. And that's my own fault for trying to read at night and try to read in bed at night. But I figure since I crochet and I do that as a main thing, I should probably try to not read that book at night to save myself from damaging my wrist joint. I've been told I need to get like a little stand for it. And I agree. Haven't yet, but I agree. It would probably be a good idea, a good point on mine to try to do that maybe, just to save myself if I want to read. Also, it would just help to read, like put that on the table or something and kind of go back and forth on. But yeah, I just haven't, and that's my own thing. But I do love that book. I'll eventually finish it. I'm definitely a dark fantasy reader. I like the escapism and fantasy. Not saying other books aren't great, it's just that's what I'm drawn to reading. And maybe one day I'll find a book and branch out. But I kind of just like enjoying the stuff I already read. I know I'm reading currently To Whom the Bell Tolls. I really enjoy it. I'm getting to parts where it's kind of like makes me sad. And I like when books can make me feel something, but also I'm like, I don't know if I want to feel these feelings right now. You know? It's just I gotta be in the mindset of it. And I'm enjoying it. But yeah, I don't know if I'd ever read Lord of the Rings books. Like, usually when I go to a place like Barnes and Noble or Walmart has some books. It's been the same books for a bit now. We get new books in so often, but I don't know. It just seems like ours just doesn't get them that often, which it obviously can't really complain about. I feel like people out there that, sorry, I got a hiccup. People out there that would probably like the turnover rate of books faster, but I don't read that fast, so it doesn't, like, I'm not going to complain. Also, I get a lot from, like, the library, so I read library books and stuff like that, or, like, Kindle books, because, like I said, I love physical books. It's just easier for me to read digital books sometimes, so I can read those kind of at night without having to worry about holding the book like open and at an angle to see it and have a light whenever the Kindle book already has that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of, I don't think I'd read, I wanted to read the Wheel of Time books. They look good. The show looks good. I'm not sure. I haven't watched all the show. But I do like the way it looks. I don't think I'd ever read it because it's one of those things where, like, I was saying, when we go to the store, my partner, I'll look at a book and I'm like, oh, I like the way this looks. And then I get so overstimulated just being in a store, especially, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big a lot of people kind of situation. Like, I'm okay with being in the vicinity of like 5 people, and then that's my max. I don't know if that's a good max, but it's the max. I'm just not a social butterfly. But anyways, I'll be like, hey, can you look at this book? And look at, I'll get like 1 or 2 sentences, like, this looks interesting. And I'm like, can you look at this? And I'll have them read the, I guess, synopsis. I think that's what it's called. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. But I'm like, can you read the synopsis of this real quick for me? Just to see if I would like it. And 9 times out of 10, they'll do it. Because they understand I'm, like, overstimulated. And they're like, yeah, you like this book. Or, you know, you might like this book. But I'm just, like, drawn to the covers. And I'm like, can you look at this? And, like, I've done that with One Dark Window. I haven't read that book yet. I haven't made it to that book yet. But I like the cover. I read like a couple sentences and I'm like, this looks good. And then I'm like, can you read this? Can you look at this for me? Because it looks interesting. But me and my partner both agreed when we talk about Lord of the Rings, because I think they've read at least 2/3 of it. This feels like it went all off of the idea I have, but I like the way it looks. It looks a lot different in person. Like, it looks, like I said, it's more of a vibe, and I guess I kind of did the vibe. I wanted the, like, dark sunken bits, like a smoky look, and I guess that's up for interpretation. But they'll look at a book and they're like, yeah, this isn't really your cup of tea. And I'm like, okay. They're like, you might like it. And if it's not like, this sounds like something you would read, or you might like it, then it's like, they know me best. They know what books I read. Usually when I read a book, I'll, even, because we don't read the same thing. They like sci-fi and historical. They like a lot of everything. But they like history books and science fiction and stuff. And that's what they like, and that's fine. I mean, I'm happy for them. But they're not going to always want to read / look into the books I'm reading for the most part. And like I said, I'm not bothered by it. But I'll give them a whole rundown, like a quick rundown of my special interest of the book. I'm like, it's kind of like really quick book report. It's like flash book report. It's like, this happened, this happened, this happened. Or I'll like highlight something. I'm like, look at this. And that's about as far as it goes. Like, they'll know what my book's about. But it's not like we're doing a book club on it. It's more of like, this is my special interest. Can I please tell you that I love this book and what I love about this book? And I was sitting there thinking the other day too, and it's racking my brain. I really want to annotate a book. I want to, and like, I have the highlighters and the little bookmarky tab things and such, so I could do it. I'm just afraid to do it. I'm afraid I have that like sticker fear. Not fear of stickers, but like, you know, when you get a sticker, you're like, oh, I really like this, and you don't know what to put it on because you don't want to waste a sticker. Yeah, I have that fear with annotating books. I'm like, what if I annotate it and I mess up? What if I annotate it and I don't like the look of it? What if I annotate it and then I go back and see what I highlighted / noted, and I'm like, this isn't that profound. It's just something sarcastic. That's what I liked in the book. Honestly, I feel like that's one of my things. I really like sarcasm and witty banter in a book. And I've been learning a lot more about myself because I've been, especially book reading, a lot more about my book reading as a person in book reading. I've been listening to Bibliophage with Gwenna and Tori. And it really has me thinking about how I read and stuff I like in a book. Like, I really like sarcasm and witty banter and such, to where I can see myself as a character, or like liking these characters or being friends with these characters. And I feel like sometimes I like books that don't have that, where there's books I've read and I love the book. Like, I really loved Hunger Games. I, however, sometimes did not agree with Katniss and was questioning a lot of it. Like, not like, oh, Katniss is da-da-da. It's more of like, it seems a bit harsh. Like, and I understand why she's harsh. And I mean, I just remember in that mindset of the age I was when I read that, I'm like, she kind of doesn't seem nice. And I don't know. Because when you're reading the book, it was hard for me to understand that I'm not seeing it from what all I know. I'm seeing it from what the character knows. And I really wasn't. I have to, like, sit there and read the book and then think about it. Like, oh, this is how I feel about it. But how would this person feel about it? And it wasn't easy for me to do that when that book came out. I was not in the emotional maturity, I want to say, of being able to separate myself from it, or whatever it was that did it. But I don't know. After watching that podcast, it just makes me want to have like a little book club. But the people I would probably do a book club with, we don't. The people I would feel comfortable doing a book club with, I don't think we all share the same genre of books we like. So it would be like a book club where we would all just talk about the one book we read versus the same book. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't be like, oh, well, what do you guys think about this one book we're reading? Versus, is everyone want to give their own mini book report on the book they're reading, which is fine. I think that would be cool. It would be hard to do and ask what other people's ideas on the book you're reading, because, like, I don't know. I don't think it would. I don't know. Maybe I'm just second guessing myself. Maybe it's more of like, I would just have to, I don't know. It's something to bring. Like, I would still like to hear about other people's, I listen to people talk about books they read, and I probably will never read. So it wouldn't be bad. But I feel like we'd have to do like a counter time thingy. Like, you got like 15, 20 minutes. You're allotted this much time. We can talk about 10 to 15 minutes what we all else think and move on. Kind of like, I guess in class as kids. Like, I remember seeing it on like a lot of shows people would set up. I remember seeing it on a lot of shows growing up. And I was like always a fear. Because you would think of someone that has taken at least 4 public speaking classes in their entire lifetime, that I'd be better at speaking. Obviously, you hear me speaking. I can talk. I ramble. Hopefully I'll get better at that. But, I remember growing up and seeing on TV, like, as kid shows I would watch, kids would be giving, like, oral book reports in class. And I was like, oh, I hope this never shows up. I hope this never happens. Or, like, trying to think of the word of it. The infamous science fair situation. I just never, ever remember having a science fair. You could just see the school I went to and it's voluntarily, but I never remember having to do science fair. It's kind of like, I always made the joke of, you remember how our parents made us scared of quicksand, or made us fear of quicksand? I honestly think I've seen quicksand once in my life. Maybe. But, yeah, I don't remember having the oral book reports. Like, I'm happy because I never had to deal with that. But I remember having this irrational fear of like, oh no, what if it's an oral book report soon? I don't remember doing book reports. I want to say it's probably because, like, they might have did it before my generation had to do that. I think AR was the thing. I think it's probably before an AR thing was done. And I remember that was the vein of a lot of people's existence. Probably the bane of mine too, because I have horrible, like I've mentioned, as you can tell, I have horrible performance anxiety. I have definite stage fright. Even though I had to be in choir as a kid and in band. Not that I wanted to. I don't remember. I did think there's something with the schedule. I just couldn't be in something else. It was either that, I think, or basketball. And I was like, I'm not athletic, but I do know how to pretend like I'm... No. I know how to at least somewhat lend my voice to a choir. I can do that. I can't sing well, but everyone else, I don't know, it just blended in. So it wasn't like I stood out. So it was more of like I was in there with the other kids singing. So it wasn't as, obviously I was not the one that auditioned for solo stuff. But no, I don't know. Now I'm just sitting here thinking about a book club. I just want to do all the hobbies. That's my problem. If that makes sense. I mean, it's not a problem, but it is a problem, but it's not. It's more of I need to figure out what I'm willing to do versus just thinking about it. And I think book club and coffee just sounds really good. I feel like I'm just gonna layer lipstick on until it looks right, because I don't know, today it just feels like my lipstick's not really wanting to stick. I know my mouth, like, I haven't had a really dry patch. I need to exfoliate. Hey, that'll do the trick. It's in some moisturizing. That looks better. So this is the overall look. Sorry for all the rambling. I mean, if you enjoyed it, you're welcome. If you didn't, I'm sorry. But I plan on trying to do a Get Rid of Me more often. Obviously, not in the hang of it. Don't really have a set thing I talk about, and or I need to actually keep up with one train of thought. It's really difficult. Always struggled with it. But need to work on performance anxiety and getting comfortable talking to a camera. And like I said, focusing on a train of thought would be amazing. But I hope you guys all have magical days, and if you did like it, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. Like I said, I'll just work on it. If any ideas, any suggestions, definitely leave them in the comment. I'd be grateful. I don't know. Like I said, I'm working on it, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye.